For free motion quilting on the Husqvarna Viking Designer Brilliance 80, there's a few things for setting up the machine. So first off, the foot that comes with this is foot R. You can also free motion quilt with your embroidery foot. So that is another option. My favorite is the free motion open toe spring foot, and that would be available from your Husqvarna Viking retailer. It's a little bit more open. It has a hopping mechanism, something I enjoy using. But I'm going to show you with what comes with the machine. I'm also going to show you if you need to adjust tensions, which sometimes you do need to. I've even put a different color of thread in my needle from my bobbin, so you can actually see if the tension needs adjusting. So start off with the straight stitch, and also a straight stitch throat plate would be ideal. I'm going to go ahead and just show it to you, but once you put it on, it will be censored, so it will allow you not to accidentally choose a zigzag and break your needle, which is awesome. But if you're looking for good results, plus you will definitely want to use like a top stitch needle. It's got a sharper point, it's got a deeper groove down the front. All those factors can play a part. And of course, good quality thread, which is kind of assumed by now, but yes, quality thread can make a difference, especially when you're free motion quilting, because everything is amplified. So if you haven't cleaned your machine lately, you haven't put a fresh needle in, that can all make a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and put my R foot on, but I next need to tell the machine I want a free motion quilt, because if you just start free motioning, that foot comes down on the fabric and it's super tight, like a normal foot. You have to tell the machine that you're going to free motion quilt. So right down here is a function. It has a little squiggly stitching line on it. Looks like a pile of spaghetti to me. So when I come here, I have free motion options. So the first one is that that's the sensor Q foot. That would be your embroidery foot. Next is the free motion ruler foot, and the last is the free motion floating, which is what I'm actually using. Yes, the new free motion ruler foot is available also from your local Husqvarna Viking store. Now, one thing, when I picked one of these, I was talking while it did it, you'll hear a click. The click is the feed dogs going down. You also notice with this feature is there's a plus and a minus that came up. So if you're stitching and you're finding that your batting is very thin, your foot might feel like it's a little high. And by it being high, you might not be getting a great stitch. So you can actually adjust it lower, or if you are working with a thicker batting, you might be kind of dragging that fabric under your foot, and you might need to raise the foot a little bit. So just know that you can come back in here and bring that up or down. Okay, let's talk free motion. So this is always a skill that is learned. One thing that can help is actually to adjust the speed. You might even try it at half speed, and then that way as you step on your foot control, that will allow you to kind of get comfortable of how fast you move your fabric based on how fast the machine is stitching. So I'm noticing right away, do you see how much kind of movement there is between the foot and the fabric? That is what I was talking about for that different height. So I'm going to go back into that free motion, and I'm going to lower it down a little bit. And I'm going to even just stitch a little bit until I find where I like that to be. So here, a little bit better, a little bit closer to the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the thread, and I want to peek at the back. The back is really your proof. So as you look at the back, actually looks really good. So even though my stitches right here were getting a little on the longer part because I was moving it faster than I was sewing, I am seeing a little bit of that top color coming down. So I could tighten my top tension just a little bit. I'm going to bring that up. And I find that that is traditionally what I need to do when I free motion quilt on a Viking, is to tighten up that top tension. All right, let's see how that one looks good. Better. I can't tell from now if I've stitched from this side and this was my top, or if I stitched from this side and this was my top. And that's really what you're going for. Now, I highly recommend that you check out some online courses like through Bluprint for mastering free motion quilting. Once you have the basics of your machine set up, now it's to learn things like preparing your quilt, picking out patterns, and how to master being that nice free form that's nice and smooth as you start and stop. And remember, there's lots of new things like ruler work, so having rulers that run up against the edge of your foot. It takes a different foot, but there is so much now available to us and at our fingertips. So I hope you'll check out the videos below this YouTube video that links to take you to some of my favorite Bluprint classes.